Hello everyone and most welcome to yet another video of Tutorials Point. Well, we've been discussing quite a lot about commonly asked interview questions and the challenges that you might as well come across while you would be faced with these questions. Not only that, we've also discussed about all the different ways or the best ways in which you can actually counter these challenges and win through them. Well, what is better than victory? That also in an interview. Well, okay, so going forward in this video, we are also going to discuss another very important and commonly asked interview question, which is, can you explain why you changed career paths? Yes, that is very right. Well, this is again a very challenging situation to face, right? First of all, to change your career path in itself is a big challenge, right? And then to go ahead and upskill yourself, probably to work in a different line altogether would be another challenge, right? And now to top it all, you have the interview grilling you right through as to why have you changed your career path and what do you explain, how do you state all of it, or how do you put it forward to the interviewer so that it doesn't sound like a turn off. Well, don't worry about it. It is not going to be a challenge anymore because we will discuss this answer end to end and as to how you should be victorious in this answer. Let's go ahead. Okay. Now, first of all, you need to be very clear as to why did you actually change your career path, right? So we could have different reasons. Probably it was out of passion. Well, this is the most common reason, or at least the most common stated reason, right? Okay, second reason could be, what else do you think that you changed your career path? Well, it was just by chance. Of course, this is actually the most common true reason, which might not be put forward as true as it is. Okay, so it just happened by chance, or it was your passion, or maybe at that very point you got attracted to it and you jumped into it, or maybe due to some external influence you were forced into that, or you just went into that, or just plunged into that different line of career. So these could be different various reasons as to why you have actually changed your career path. Now, you are, of course, you know why you've changed, right? Now you have to put it forward to the interviewer, and you have to put it in a way such that it does not actually, it's not kind of an alarming signal for the interviewer. It's not kind of a turn off, right? It should not be a be a cause of immediate refusal. So now, because you do not want it to be portrayed in a way such that it's kind of a turn off for the interviewer, so how do you structure your answer? Well, don't worry about it. In this video here, we will discuss as to how you're going to structure this answer in the best way. Okay, so how do you start about it? Well, of course, you all would have your own reasons for changing your careers, right? So basis whatever reason you have, or whatever reason you want to portray, be it your passion or be it probably any situation or anything that you want to put forward. So how do you are you just going to say that one liner and end it? Well, not really. So how do you go about it? Well, this is how you go about it. You got to find the common threads. Yes, that's very right. So let us assume that you were probably in a profession wherein you were doing some creative work, right? Or maybe your studies or whatever degree that you are qualified in, whatever your qualification is, that is more towards the line of creativity, and you go forward and you do change, though you changed your mainstream or main subject that you probably have studied in, but the crux of it is still the same. So that is how you're going to portray it forward. You definitely do not want to just say that, okay, just happened by chance. Oh, that's definitely going to be a turn off. You're not going to do that. So I'm going to try and find the common threads, because definitely there is going to be a link between the change whatever path that you have changed. So let us assume someone is into maybe into teaching, right? Or maybe you've just maybe you've gone into some core kind of maybe medical qualification, or maybe your basic qualification is in non-medical or medical field, and you just feel that okay, now teaching is the right option for me, so I should just go ahead in that. So well, definitely you can find your common thread. You definitely can kind of connect as to how your basic qualification has helped you to seamlessly actually transfer into this new field of whatever career that you've chosen. So try and find the common thread, because ultimately that is what is going to help you to sail through this seamless process easily. And not just that, you definitely want to put it forward that by virtue of my the qualification, or by virtue of kind of my previous career, it is by virtue of that now I'm able to perform as well, because in my previous career path, we were definitely trained and upskilled in a way that we would brainstorm and be very, very creative, and which is why in my this I definitely feel that this job option is definitely going to be the best for me, because here is where I can actually use all my creativity that I've been upskilled for in my previous job, right? So you might want to put it forward that way, but do remember that there has to be a common thread which you should put forward. Otherwise, if it is completely disconnected, it might not be a very, very kind of a good start for you. Okay, then of course you got to showcase your performance. That is very right. So no matter which field you were in, but your performance is something which is going to actually reflect, right? And it is something which you got to use just in case you need to justify you changing your career paths, right? So though by passion, let us assume you've just picked up one particular field and you have found out the common thread. Let us assume the common thread is creativity, or a connecting link, let us assume, is communication, or maybe a connecting link is maybe public speaking, right? Or it is maybe you wanna assume it to be maybe teaching, or any particular thing, or something which is more to do with it should be using your craft skills, right? So you, now that once you end up finding your common thread, then it is also important to showcase your performance, because definitely that is what is going to convince the interviewer that the common link which this person ends up connecting his or her previous work experience or qualification to this new job, this common link would be effective. Otherwise, how is it that you could just out of the blue end up convincing the interviewer? Well, there is definitely no way out, right? So how do you convince? That can only happen if you showcase performance, which means you're going to showcase how you have performed in your previous job, especially something that is related to that connecting link or that common thread which you found out, right? So let us assume your connecting link was creativity. So you definitely want to showcase that in my previous job or my studies, due to my creativity, I was able to achieve so and so target, which was definitely a very, very big benefit for the organization, or I was awarded for achieving my target in the best possible time that I could, right? So that is how you're going to showcase your performance. And now you understand why you want to showcase it, because that is the only thing which is going to convince the interviewer to consider your or to consider the justification that you're giving for changing your your career path, right? So otherwise, if you just go out of the blue and just slap it on the interviewer's face, that okay, I now want to try this out, so it's not as convincing, dude. You might just want to try this out today. How about you end up flickering your mind to trying out something else tomorrow? So that is definitely going to be a disaster, right? So once you find the connect, so first step is you find the connecting link, and then you end up showcasing your performance, primarily pitching in the common thread or the connecting link which you are talking about. Okay. How do you go forward? Well, direct everything towards a common goal. Yes, that is right. So, no matter which career path you were in, you were always very, very passionate about, probably achieving results, or maybe you were always very, very passionate about being very, very creative, or you were always passionate about communication, or maybe you were very, very passionate about maybe artificial intelligence or XYZ, anything which you just picked up, right? Maybe you're using the same, that kind of the crux of your qualification or your previous job experience is the same which you're gonna carry forward, and you are very, very passionate about doing that, and nothing else just matters to you, right? So that is how you're going to direct everything towards a common goal, right? So you have to be very sure to mold your answer in a way such that you end up convincing the interviewer that yes, no matter which career path I'm into, but yes, I am very, very passionate about a particular thing, and I definitely feel that I can create amazing results in this this organization as well. So do not forget to direct everything that you want towards a common goal which relates to your current job profile that you have applied for, right? So now this current job profile maybe requires a particular skill set, right? Or maybe it requires something, some quality in you, right, which you feel that by virtue of your previous job experience you're able to hone that particular skill in you, and you can carry it forward, and that is what you're going to primarily focus on. So do not forget to direct everything towards a common goal. Okay, last but not the least, until unless you're convinced about your story, well, trust me, no one else is going to be convinced. That is right. So in order to convince the person who is right in front of you, you yourself have to be convinced, and there is no doubt about it, right? So once you frame this entire story, well, I'm sure before going for the interview, you are definitely going to practice it once, right? So once you end up framing this entire story, just listen to it, maybe face the mirror and just listen to your own story, and listen to it in a way such that you're actually doing the role of an interviewer, right? So are you actually convinced of this particular story? Well, if you're not, you might want to restructure it again, and if you are, well, you are good to go. Nothing is going to stop you then. So it's a kind of a green signal. So it is very, very important that you yourself are convinced, right? Because it is but obvious that only if you are convinced, that passion is going to show up in the way that you're going to speak. So if that passion automatically shows up, definitely the person sitting right in front of you is definitely going to be convinced, and there is no doubt about it, right? So do not forget to convince yourself for anything and everything in the world to convince the person right in front of you, right? So friends, this was about answering a very, very tough question, which I'm sure is not going to be tough anymore, because now you know how to answer it, right? So we will see you again in the next video. Till that time, keep learning with Tutorials Point and Tutorix. Have a good day.